Hello guys, and welcome to something which I'm doing secretly, I would say, well, semi-secretly. You can see them if you choose to. I'm doing speedrunning at the moment, which is something which I find very entertaining. And so today I'm going to bring you a post-commentated run of Super Mario 64. This run has beaten my previous personal best by nearly 3 minutes, which is quite a feat and something which I've been hoping for a very long time. It's been a long time since I've PB'd by that amount, or by something I would consider significant. So here we go. Like, we're watching the opening cutscene. Super Mario 64 is very odd. Usually when you start a speedrun, it starts when you're manipulating the file, either by doing something on the main menu, which is changing the file in some way, or you're actually opening the file. But Super Mario 64, the people who decided how it was going to be run, decided that it would be timed from reset. So firstly, we're going to attempt something called Lactu Skip, which is if you stand to the very left edge of the bridge, you skip Lactu's text. I didn't get it. It's a very hard trick. I've only got it like about 15 times out of the 208 runs that I've done. So you can see it's quite difficult. I will say there is a lot, so I'm going to be talking constantly through this. But there are going to be some areas where I'm going to be very quiet. So here we go. Generally, Bob-omb Battlefield is very slow with its stars, so we don't really want to go there a lot. However, we do have to get a star here via this route in order to get into Womp's Fortress, which we'll be getting a lot of stars with. So the quickest star in Bob-omb Battlefield is behind Chain Chomp's Gate, which simply you can just ground pound that a few times. There is a skip which you can do with a Bob-omb, but that's a hard trick and I'm yet to learn it, and it really only saves around about 10 seconds, something which I'm not really focused on much at the moment. So here we go, we've got our first star, and I tend to like moving in long jumps, so you'll hear the long jump sound a lot within this playthrough. So next we're heading over to Womp's Fortress, which is the thing I was mentioning previously. You'll see at the left side as well, if you have been if you've noticed these things at the left, it shows what the next star do, and that is just basically the whole speedrunning thing. It's like splits, and so you know how you're doing throughout the run, so you can sort of judge whether it's a run, whether you should keep doing or not, and also to make you feel happy if you're doing well. And sometimes it can make you choke, which boy has that happened a few times. So this one, you see I'm talking too much. So Super Mario 64 wasn't very well designed for people who were very good with Super Mario 64. There's a lot of things which it was intended that you should do, and there was just a simple way of bypassing it, which was a lot quicker. So that one, simply you just have to side flip and then you have to do a wall jump. It can take you a couple of tries, and it does take me a couple of tries every now and then, but it's very simple to do. That one, yeah, again, normally you have to go around the fortress and then you have to go up this little elevator. However, you can just triple jump and do a wall kick onto an island and then jump back onto the top of the platform, and it's very quick. It's a little bit iffy and I don't tend to do it and a lot in this run, and you'll see an alternative in the next star, but it does save a fair amount of time for Womp's Fortress. So here we go. Here's the next one. Now, I would use the method for Womp's Fortress with getting up, which is doing a triple jump and then the wall jump and onto the island. But there is the little things which pull out on the fortress itself take a while, and is actually in time with the actual elevator itself. So it's slightly slower, but it's a lot safer to do in a run, which at the moment I'm going for safety rather than speed in a lot of cases. So yeah. And you can just quickly get to the top of the fortress that way, and it's very safe to do, and it's also very quick. So yeah, again, saved a lot of time there. And now we're going over to Blast to the Wall. This is possibly one of the few stars which I'm doing in its intended manner, which is essentially just you hop into the cannon, you blast the wall, and then you go out. There is a little bit of time saving doing here and there by doing like triple jumps to like skip a part of like the sloped area and doing like a dive into the star. But it's not like there's a way you can get it without hitting the cannon, but that's way too risky for me at this time, and I'm not good enough really to try doing that. So there you go, that's another star done, and we're around about 33% away through our actual star gathering itself. And yet again, another one which is intended. A quick little thing there, you can side flip and you get to the top of a tree, which automatically brings out the owl rather than having to do the climbing, which takes a while. But aside from that, it's just the basic way it intended you to do. So now with that out on the way, we have done all the stars that we need to in Womp's Fortress. I think we did 5 in the end there. And Womp's Fortress is a good source of quick stars within the early levels. Not all of them are quick, hence why we're not doing all of them. Obviously the 100 coin star takes a while, the red coin star takes a while, and yeah, generally that's the format. You don't do the 100 coins and you don't do the red coins. We do a red coin mission, but that's because like all the red coins are like jumbled within a small space and it's very quick to get. So we can just simply hop to the top here, grab the penguin, although I was a little bit slow in doing that, and so we just pick up the penguin from there, and rather than going down the whole thing, we just just slide down the mountain. And actually, as soon as you caught the penguin, there's no actual button presses, it's just movement of the joystick. I lose a little bit of time here, mainly down to the fact that it took me a while to pick up the penguin. It would have taken me a slightly less amount of time if I had been slightly quicker in picking up the penguin. I remember in my previous PB, I was very quick in that way. And so now onto wall kicks will work. Another massive skip. We're just going to hop off the island and do a little bit of a well-timed kick. And here we are. Normally you would have to go down to the place where you collect the little penguin lost star, and then you would have to do a well-placed cannon shot, and you would have to do a little bit of movement. But you can just simply jump off the mountain, and it's a very quick star to get. And so there you go. And now we're doing, we do another red coin. We do 2 red coin missions, and this is because the Bowser levels seem to be the longest ones, but you have to do them obviously because you have to get the keys to access the new areas. You might say, well, why can't you get out of bounds and then just simply reach the loading zone like it is with Donkey Kong 64? And that is because the actual trigger for entering the upper area and the lower area isn't actually entering a certain area, it is actually the opening the door cutscene which actually starts that. And so it's like very difficult to reach these things. And so, yeah, and we do a little bit of a well-timed kick. That one, because of the fire, it is hard to get sometimes. You intend to do a side flip, but that is another hard thing, so I usually just jump and then kick backwards. Another time-saving thing here. Normally you're meant to triple jump up, but I don't think I did it there. I was talking a lot of the time, and I tend to look away from the screen when I'm talking sometimes. So yeah, and then also yet again a lot of the time we're using not wall kicks. We're doing long jumps in order to get around places. Normally you would have to go around a whole looped path to get through there, but you can just jump from one side to the other. Yet again, Super Mario 64 the developers didn't really consider that, and so you can just long jump everywhere. The next red coin is on top of here. I think I could have collected this one a little quicker if I'd used a long jump. Yeah, again, long jumps work, but yeah, and then this one you just kick down. And there we go, there's a star. We still have to collect it though, because that's going to be our 9th star. So what we do that, and then something which saves a little bit of time. If you jump and then triple jump, you can get on top of the slope without actually hitting the button, and it saves a little bit of time. Triple jumps, if you didn't know, they take a little bit of time, and they do save a lot of time here and there. And if you do like the 3rd jump off on a slope, it still registers. You have to do the first 2 off a slope, but if you do the 3rd one, it will still work on a slope. I will say as well, I did miss that previous split, but the time for that I think was 9:56:09. You can see I've put a little note on before, and I might extend it, you never know, I know. So yeah, that's Bowser defeated. We have to do all 3 Bowsers in this one. Obviously, as I said, you have to get all the keys to enter the different areas, and that is what 16 star it is. It isn't just collecting the 16 stars, it is also getting up to defeating Bowser. And so now we're doing Shining atop the pyramid. This is the only star we do in Shifting Sandland. There is one other which I could do, but for me it's too difficult. It's the Inner Talons of the Big Bird, the one where you have to take the star out to klepto the Big Bird's claws. And that one you have to do like a well-timed triple jump, and then you have to do a well-timed long jump, and you have to do it within really quickly in order to get it. And it's just too difficult for me, but it's really quick, and so I might learn that later. So yeah, again, triple jump over the hill, save you a lot of time, and then you can just you can just keep jumping and you can get to the top of the pyramid, rather than doing the way it intended you to, which is just go around and around and around. As a whole, this run doesn't have a lot of glitches in it. There's a few big ones that we use later on, but mainly it's just like skipping areas by just doing well-timed movements. So this isn't the final red coin thing we're going to get, and that's because, yeah, again, it's really close and all the things are really close together. So yeah, this is a really good split, and there you go. And I don't know how long. It's a 36-second star, that one, including obviously the movement to get into the level. So really, it's only a 20-second star, which is really, really quick, of course. And the next one's 40 seconds. This one isn't included, I don't think, in the actual world record, which I don't understand. This star is really quick. I don't know, sometimes. There's some stars which are far slower to get, I would say. But obviously, like, I don't know, maybe this is like one of the slowest stars to get in terms of the speedrun, but I think it's pretty good. Substitute, and it still gets me the 16 or the 15 stars I need. I'll explain where the 16th comes from in a second. And there you go, there's your 12 star. Now Swimming Beast in the Cavern. Yeah, oof, my voice is going to be gone after this. Swimming Beast in the Cavern. This one we use a little glitch to get to it quicker, and also to pass the actual swimming beast itself, which looks a lot like Lapras from Pokemon. But hey ho. Yeah, I may need to take short breaks every now and then to actually catch my breath, because as I said, I'm talking a lot in this run because there's so much which is happening. So yeah, if you line yourself in between that last square on the edge, you can actually clip through the elevator, and if you do like well-timed movements, you can also reach the star very quickly. And then again, another star which we can collect really easily is the Toad star, which you just have to talk to this Toad over here. You have to have 12 stars to get this, I think. So we could have got it before or after, but before is fairly slow, and after, if you go after, you actually have to enter a level before MIPS the rabbit spawns, and we'll need MIPS in a second. And so what I do is I enter Hazy Maze Cave, do star number 13, go back, get the Toad star, and then go back into Hazy Maze Cave to actually like spawn MIPS and do another star. So this one is watch out for rolling or falling rocks, or watch out for rocks I should say. Yeah, again, another very quick one, and this is one of those which we actually do in its intended manner yet again, which is to do this little jump. It's a very odd name for a star, and I know that when I started, like when I played Super Mario 64 for the first time, it was a bit of a confusing star. Here I make an actual pretty big mistake, which is to accidentally re-enter Hazy Maze Cave again. Really, you're just meant to exit. So what I do is once I've entered, I realise that's not what I'm meant to be doing, and I basically then just exit yet again. And then just take the safe route and just walk around the actual portal rather than trying to long jump over it and then failing. Here's MIPS the rabbit. This is part of like where the major glitching happens, and MIPS is a really annoying rabbit in my eyes. He's sometimes very hard to catch, and can save you, or can lose you a lot of time, but it is necessary for the 16-star run. So when you push him through the door, there's three things which can, well, there's four things which can happen. When you walk into this door, you can either A, not do anything and you'll just like not clip through the door at all. B, you can like partially clip through it, but you won't be close enough to MIPS pick him up. C, you can be in it and then you can pick him up, which is what we want to do and what I've just done. Or D, you can actually clip the entirety of the way through it, which is what we're going to do here. And it depends on your position to what happens, and yet again, sometimes like it just doesn't work too well, and sometimes it can just take you forever and ever and ever to do it, and it is a pretty big run killer. So here we go. This is the 16th star essentially, and that is so we can access Bowser and the Fire Sea. We collect this star in the actual usual manner. There is a slightly quicker way to do it, but yet again, it's pretty difficult to do. That's the star collected and stuff. So this level is based on cycles, and really we have to get in very quickly to get into the optimal cycle. To do that, we have to burn ourselves quite a lot of times in order to get to areas quicker than normal. It's also good if we do the long jump there, but I accidentally land in fire, which is pretty bad because you only get 3 shots at, like, if you hit fire 3 times then you're dead, if you don't collect coins or also like extra health. And so, yeah, and we've missed the cycle, but we can still get to the top fairly quick and get to the next cycle. And to get to the top without sort of like having to walk up, which normally I don't think you can climb, is you just long jump, which is my usual manoeuvre in this. I actually wonder how many times I've actually long jumped. I'll probably put a counter somewhere on screen. This bit, yeah, again we're skipping another like fairly slow section by doing another wall jump and then a long jump, and into the portal we go to fight Bowser 2. This one we can grab his tail really quickly, and that's because he does like the seismic, like he shifts the level on its side, and so with a well-timed punch you can actually grab it before like he goes into his normal spinny thing, and you have to like follow him around. And so then we go, that is the Bowser section done, Bowser 2 I should say, and all we just have to do is collect the key. The actual talking boxes are sometimes very difficult to find. I've lost a little bit of time here and there every now and then to just not being in the right box for it to talk to him. So now we enter one very difficult bit, and this requires a lot of explanation. So basically when you long jump, which is my favourite manoeuvre of course, they set a speed cap, so you can't like go like infinitely fast with a long jump if you build enough, like if you try to build up speed. But they didn't consider if you're going backwards, and so if you like long jump backwards and keep doing it into a sloped section, you build up speed, and the faster you go, the harder it is for collision detection to actually see whether you've hit something, and sometimes you'll just clip right through. So here we go, you see I went pretty fast there, a long jump backwards, and I went through the 50-star door with only 16 stars. The next bit is a similar thing, so it automatically lets you through the 70-star door, but normally this is the infinite staircase, and what makes it infinite is there's like a hitbox which detects when to bring you to the bottom of the staircase, but you can skip that with backwards long jump because you're like skipping the point, like you go fast enough to actually skip the point where like it goes, well, hang on, you've not got 70 stars. And in this one we do pretty normally, and I haven't really optimised this level a lot, but there are some things which I do, so for instance that, which skips a fair amount of time. What you're meant to also do, like in the speedrun, is you're meant to do what I did in Bowser in the Dark World, but I skipped that by accident because I was being an innie, so now I've skipped that. I have to do the whole staircase climb thing, and yeah, and then yeah, again saving a little bit more time, you long jump, because that's a long jumpable gap. This one I'm a little bit slow in grabbing the pole, which is a bit unfortunate. I really wanted to grab the pole quick enough. And yeah, this is where it gets pretty normal from now on, except for this bit, which you can long jump past to skip the pole. So I'm going to join you yet again at the end of the level. So here's Bowser 3. I'm terrible at Bowser throws. So basically you have to throw him and then like 3 times, and on the 3rd section he also like breaks up the stage, but that's not too much of a problem. We got a good first spin. I would like to do live commentaries of this at some point, but like it's when I'm actually able to talk while speedrunning. So that's a good second hit, and we go for the final hit over here. And also we have to pick obviously a close landmine, so like obviously we're not like throwing for ages trying to build enough speed. And we got all 3 mines first try, which is really good. Really, you have to start the talking box at 50 if you actually want to be in a minute. So like if it's like 49, it's usually 59 which will actually collect the star, and the collection of the star marks the end of the run, so we've actually finished the run. So yeah, that will be the end of this live commentary. I know I've talked a lot through this. You've got my 29-minute run, which was my first run, and then my 26:36, then I did a 26:14, then a few days ago I did a 26:02, and now I've done a 23:05. If you want to watch any of those runs, you just click on the links there and it'll take you straight to it. So anyway guys, thanks so much for watching. I've been Bob-omb. This is the end credits. Signing out.
All that's left is a window to my soul. Come and get it.